So I read this small town cop duet book. It's got 2 books in one. So the first book in it is called Truly, Madly, Briefly by Delores Fossen. Keith got to refer to my notes. And in this book, you have Bobby as the main character, and she runs her uncle's men's underwear factory. So in the factory, they produce different styles of men's underwear, and I do like it because this book particularly, because at the beginning of every chapter it like describes one of the products from the factory with like the number and what it's called and like what like all the features of it and what colors it comes from. It's hilarious. So she is busy running this factory. You also have the fact that she has been left at the altar twice now by the same guy. And like all she wants to do is get out of town and go see the world. But of course she can't because family obligations. She's staying and running the factory. Then you have Aiden, who is a cop in the town on this cop exchange program. So every couple of months he moves to a new spot and trains and is a cop for, a couple months at this new spot and then does it again and again and again. So because he's like new meat in this town that apparently doesn't have a lot of guys, they held a lottery system, which her uncle secretly submit his name for, or her name for, to have 1 week shot at trying to date him before everybody else's descends. And of course, Bobby doesn't know about this, and of course wins. So now it's like, you have a week to date him, but I don't want him to date him. I had the whole fiance thing, who all of a sudden like shows up in the picture. So she's like, you know what? Let's pretend to fake date. So it's like small town cops and fake dating duet. Anyway, meanwhile, she also asks him to help because somebody's stealing triple XL underwears from the factory. Crazy. So chaos, of course, ensues. Falls in love, but of course he's leaving. She can't leave. That whole thing. Now, the other book in this duet is called Tried and True by Katie Gallagher. And Clementine, who's the main character in this one, shows up in Tried and True, which is a small town in Kansas. And she is kind of like running out of money. She is engaged to this rich guy that her mom set her up with. Mom is like crazy controlling, where like Clementine decides to leave for a month before the wedding, and mom cuts her off from all of her finances, which mom shouldn't be able to do considering she's a grown adult, but I digress. So like has no money, so she stops in this small town to try and like earn some more money before she has to go back in 2 weeks and marry this guy. So she gets a job as a waitress, and of course then everybody is trying to set her up with various people in town. There's a doctor, and then there's the small town sheriff. Told you it was about cops. So sheriff, and of course Sheriff Callum was married. I think he was married. Yes, he was married, and that didn't work out, so he came back. So now he's like really shy, not shy, but he's really like against getting married again and that whole thing. So they like come up with a plan to fake date to get the matchmaking grannies off his back, and then she'll leave in 2 weeks. But of course, we know how the fake dating goes in both of these cases. I'm sure you can figure out. Of course, hilarity ensues, comedy ensues, family members get involved. It was hilarious. Now, I'm counting this, I think, as one book, because I think when I tried to mark them both as read on Goodreads, you couldn't. I think it only was one book. I'll have to double check that again. If not, I'll mark it as book 95 and 96. I'm so close to my goal of 100. Yay, I'm so excited, but I still have so much to read. Happy reading!